Hey, what's up? This is Adam from Adam Knows. Before we even get started, I gotta cover two quick things. One, I gotta apologize for this annoying beep that you're going to hear throughout the video. Can't do anything about it. It's a fire detector. The battery's low, but the fire detector is 20 feet up in the air from the first floor. I got vaulted ceilings, and they put it at the highest point, which is stupid because by the time the smoke gets up there, you're either dead or you're already out the house. Second thing, in the first video, I had made mention of Omi and the Hellcat stating that he was doing his chat live and that the FBI was in the room with him. I took that literally as them being physically in the house. Apparently they weren't, so that was my mistake, but that doesn't change anything in regards to everything else I've said in that video or any other video. So if you still want to run with that after the fact, by all means, go ahead. That's all you really got to run with. With that said, let's get to the video. Now, the first thing we're going to go over is Fox 29's news segment of this whole incident. And we're going to talk about how irresponsible they were in doing a newscast over something that they didn't take the time to research or verify or confirm anything about it. And then if they looked and did a little bit of detective work that I just did sitting here at my desk, they would see that there was something wrong with their story. Let's take a look at the video.
YouTube celebrity is telling the online world he has been raided by the feds.
Here's clue number one. The reporter announcer clearly stated a local celebrity is telling the world he was raided by the feds. Usually when there's a case like this and they've got verification to back it up, they'll straight out tell you the feds raided so-and-so, or the feds did this, or the IRS did that. Not a celebrity is telling people this happened to him. That's hearsay. Let's keep going.
Well known for his fancy high-end cars and candid videos, his channel has 500,000 subscribers and his videos have been viewed 35 million times. But those pricey cars aren't sitting in his driveway anymore. Fox 29's Jeff Cole joins us live from the federal courthouse in Philadelphia with the story. Jeff.
Now I'm going to break into this part of the news clip just to point out something. As you can see, we have a reporter standing in front of the federal building. Do not let this deviate you from the fact this has nothing to do with the case. News reporters, when they do newscasts, they'll go to a place of significance to do a story. In this case, because the feds are accused of doing a raid, they're going to go and stand in front of the Fed building like something happened. So let's continue.
Shayna, Omi Cars is a local man who appears to have hit it big on YouTube. But a raid of his New Jersey property by federal agents last week is likely. It may.
Again, it likely, it may, it could, maybe. We don't know. That's basically what they're trying to say. There's no proof to corroborate any of this happened. That's why they're using choice select words when doing this article.
Strike big trouble for him. The sprawling home on the 100 block of Fox Chase Court, Swedesboro, almost appeared abandoned, with the shades down and no answer at the door. A far different look from what appears on YouTube, where homeowner Omi Cars shows off his collection of high-end cars.
They had like bulletproof vests on and they had guns drawn and they were very slowly approaching the house next door.
Wednesday, November 20th, and the appearance of great wealth collapsed, say neighbors, when FBI agents, seen here in cell phone pictures, hit.
Now, here's one of the biggest clues that should have been a hint for most people. When we're looking at these pictures, we see obscure pictures of two or three guys walking out and about. That could be anybody. That's the problem. More importantly, if the feds did a raid, when feds do a raid, let me put it this way. When the feds do a raid, they don't come like SWAT, but they come hard. And it's usually at least 4 or 5 vehicles that come up. Usually same color or black, white, gray vehicles, either full-size SUVs full-size sedans like Chevy Impalas, Ford Taurus, mid-size sedans like Chevy Malibu, Ford Fusion, along those lines, government vehicles. I see no government vehicles sitting out there in that street. What are we trying to say? They all parked down the street around the corner and walked to his house? I don't think so. But if you see those vehicles there, please point them out to me. I haven't seen them. And there's not enough people in that picture to justify an IRS raid. If you've seen IRS raids on TV, in the news, or even on YouTube, they come in full force. Not this, 3 or 4 guys went to go have lunch and then stopped off at somebody's house to do a raid. It doesn't work like that. Let's get back to the video.
The place in an early morning raid, hauling the cars away.
They loaded them off one by one for the course of about 4 or 5 hours.
They took all his cars.
I took all the cars. Probably 30 of them.
It's unclear.
Okay, 2 things wrong with his story. The so-called neighbor witness. 1, he said this took a course of 4 or 5 hours. Why are there no pictures of the tow trucks coming to take these vehicles away? That would have made more for a dramatic effect on the newscast instead of pictures of people just walking around. Nothing says raid than tow trucks lined up taking vehicles out the driveway. But we didn't see any of that in these pictures. No pictures have ever came up with that. So that's another hint for you that this just didn't take place. And as far as the neighbor, Omi and the Hellcat said himself, they're friends. So what is it to him among friends to pay a couple $100 to say whatever to the news cameraman? It's not like it's a court judge he's speaking to, lying to, committing perjury. So who would care? Why would he care? He just got paid just basically to get up in front of the screen and lie. Let's finish this up.
Just what the feds are investigating, their local offices declined comment Wednesday. But Carrasquillo, a 33-year-old YouTube sensation, also known for web hosting, has clearly drawn the aggressive attention of investigators. In a brief phone conversation with Fox 29, a man claiming to be Carrasquillo refused to answer questions on the record. A source close to him tells Fox 29 he's being investigated for alleged tax evasion and copyright infringement, but hasn't been charged.
A close source. This again goes back to Fox 29's irresponsibly reporting the news. There is no source close enough that can verify that this has happened. The only people that can verify that this happened on the record is the FBI or the IRS. And their statement is, we don't share any information on investigations ongoing or not happening at all. So in other words, we're not telling you nothing no matter which way it goes.
Source claims the feds also seized pricey jewelry and all the money in his bank accounts. A neighbor says she has not seen Carrasquillo of late, but is concerned for his family.
It's still scary, and we're not sure what's going on. I have a great deal of sympathy for his family. And the children that he has. I hope that they're going to be okay through all of this.
Now, a source close to Carrasquillo says he does not believe he's done anything wrong in the area of web hosting and streaming. As you've reported, he has spoken about the raid on YouTube and even shown the search and seizure documents. Omar Carrasquillo lives in the former home of ex-Phillies shortstop Jimmy Rollins. Live in Center City at the Federal Court Building, I'm Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News.
Now that we've gotten the news segment out of the way, let's talk about his cars. And this is another reason why I never believed he had an IRS FBI raid for tax evasion. Basically because it's starting to look like most of the cars weren't his to begin with. Now, this is going to go back a little ways when I try to explain this. So some of you will understand this, some of you won't. Just play along, pay attention. As you listen and as you watch, you'll begin to understand.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Okay, we're going to go back to May of 2019. This is the oldest video I can find of him and his intro. Pay attention to the intro itself, and I'm going to freeze it at a certain point.
Omi in the Lambo? Nah.
Now, I want you to pay attention to this license plate. It's a New Jersey temporary tag. There are so many people that made sure to tell me that, even though I knew it, but I want to make sure that I know, and I want to make sure that you know what it is too. This is a video made by Tall Guy, I think Tall Guy Driver Review, I think is his name. He made this video on July 26th at Omi's house. Look at the temporary tag that's on the plate. We're 3 months later, basically 90 days after the tag should have expired. And as you go through his videos, all the way up until last month, whenever you see this car, I'm sorry, in this case the truck, the Lamborghini truck, you'll see that same temp tag on it. I'm not talking about in the intro video. That's just a recording that started in May. I'm talking about in random videos when he's doing his walk-arounds with his cars, when he's showing them off, you always see the plate to some of these vehicles. And this is one of the plates that you see just about all the time. And it's not just the Lamborghini truck, it's several of his vehicles, including the Lamborghini cars, some of the other Highline vehicles such as the Audi A7. In his video where he turned in the Audi RS8, it also had a New Jersey temp tag on it. Several other vehicles in his driveway, actually a lot of vehicles in his driveway, have New Jersey temp tag plates on it. I'm about to show you why in a second. New Jersey plates are easy to create. You can make them from your home computer and print them out. That's how easy it is. And basically that's what it looks like he's been doing, just printing out plates to put on here. No one can have the same temp tag for 6 months on a vehicle with the same number. It's just not possible. It is downright illegal. Meaning, more than likely, these vehicles were never his to begin with. And I'm going to show you some other discrepancies on some vehicles that have regular plates on it. Okay, let's take a look at this first car. The Bentley truck. License plate that's showing on it is Go to Work. But when we look up that plate for Go to Work, the search result comes back as a 2016 BMW 750i with that VIN number, a white one. Okay, let's look at the Acura NSX. License plate LBS 4775. When nothing comes up, that means the plate is no longer a valid plate in the system. That's why nothing came up in the search result. Now, you've seen what I saw and what I discovered. You got to judge yourself. You're either going to believe it, you're going to question it, or you're going to just completely deny it. I know there's going to be people that deny it. I mean, we got Trump supporters. That's what they do every time he does something. They ignore the facts just to follow Trump. It happens. That's the way of the world. I'm not going to sit here and try to force you to believe anything. It's your own free will to take what I said with a grain of salt. I'm sure you have to admit the evidence is pretty damning, though. Another thing, a lot of people keep asking or stating I'm hating on him. I'm not hating on him. Actually, when I first started seeing his videos, they were entertaining. I was actually rooting for dude to be successful. But when you see bullshit, you just gotta call it. And I see bullshit. And that's all I've been seeing ever since he opened up his mouth and said he was raided by the feds. Because nothing about his story made sense. Why am I saying that? Because I had to experience it myself. This was a long time ago. We're talking, this is 2019. This took place in 2005 when I opened up my first store. Well, at my first two stores. First two stores I did mainstream were cell phone stores. I've owned stores before that. I used to own a car audio business before that, and some accessory cards selling accessories back in the day. 2005, I opened up two cell phone stores in Ohio. One at Euclid Square Mall and one in the city of Cleveland Heights, freestanding store, self-standing outside of a mall. I had a partner who came in with me on it. My Partner was doing shady stuff on the side. When I say shady stuff on the side, he was doing fake driver's license. Well, not fake driver's license. He had somebody working at the bureau, and they could have whomever come in, and they would make driver's license with other people's information on them, but with his friends' photos. And then what they were doing was they were hitting up banks where they find these people's information and withdrawing money. One guy they withdrew millions of dollars with. They had cleaned up this old crackhead and dressed him up, got him sober, had him walk into the bank pretending to be this elderly man, and this dude walked away over the course of 2 months with over $1 million. And then they tried to sit up there and launder the money through various things. He was doing mortgaging at that time. He had some friends that owned a gas station. He had an Arab friend that owned gas stations that Secret Service was looking at, or Homeland Security was looking at. And then he tried to funnel money through the business. I didn't think nothing about it because as far as I knew, it was just money coming in for supplies, more products to expand. That's why we did the second store. One day I walk into the bank because the bank calls me about one of the checks that had went through. I'm thinking nothing of it. Me and his sister went in there to go check it out because his sister was an officer. She handled some of the bookkeeping. So we're sitting in the bank, and all of a sudden, while we're talking to the security guy for the bank, and they're talking about a cashier's check, they had a problem with the cashier's check. And while he's talking about this to us, 2 FBI agents walk into the room, a postal inspector walks into the room. They're like, we're so-and-so, and here's the problem. Now, I'm sitting there pissed. And then I found out while they're talking to us, and his sister's over there looking stupid, like she don't want to say a word. While they're telling me this, they're also telling me, oh yeah, we're at your stores right now. We're basically going through everything. We have warrants to clear out everything, to investigate everything until we determine what's going on. So I got 2 stores, barely new, open, shut down, taped up by the government. They seized the bank accounts. And that was the other thing. The feds in Ohio opened up a fake bank. It was called Sky Bank. It was a bank basically set up to catch drug dealers and money launderers like this dude. They were offering these ridiculous rates, no hassle setups, all that thing. So drug dealers, the dumb ones, and people like him were signing up. And they froze the accounts. And then they shut down the banks until after investigations, and whoever was free and clear of anything, they mailed you back your money talking about you can't bank here anymore. Well, of course you couldn't, because it was a Fed bank. They can't do anything with the money. So anyway, we're going about 2 months. I've been investigated and interviewed by the FBI 5-10 times. I did 3 lie detector tests. Until they were satisfied, I had no knowledge whatsoever what was going on. And I was free and clear of anything. Anyway, him and his friends got stood up for I think he got the most, which was like 6 years. Everybody else got 2 or 3 years, plus restitution. The thing is, when the FBI and IRS do the raids, they're thorough about what they do. They know what they're doing. There is no secondhand or goofiness like this dude's been telling. There is no, oh, you can bring an Audi RS8 in on Monday or get in trouble, that sort of thing. That's not going to happen. They're going to take that stuff. They may not necessarily take the property yet, but they are looking at the property if this really happened. But like we said, or like I said, they never came to raid his place. If that was the case, like I said on the newscast, they would have been more confirming about it. Not only that, instead of pictures of 2 or 3 guys standing or walking on the street and in the driveway, we would see tow cars. We would see police vehicles. We would see FBI vehicles in that picture. We didn't see any of that. Which goes back to why, again, that shit was fake. Same thing with the cars. All of them are rocking fake New Jersey temp tags that he probably printed out himself or he paid somebody to print for them. And that has been a serious problem in those areas surrounding Philly, Pennsylvania, New York, Jersey, etc. for a while. So we know for a fact now there's something going on with his cars, something that definitely isn't right. We know when he shows a lot of these cars that come up, like the Bentley Cullinan, the SUV, it comes up with a plate for a 2016 BMW. Basically, he was just faking it. Threw a plate on there to make it look legit. Didn't think nobody was going to look at it. I mean, when I first saw all this stuff and heard this stuff about the fake Fed thing, I thought he was an informant or a federal agent or something, trying to get into the world with whomever to get some attention, to get hooked up with some big names or something and bust them. But it would have been too sloppy, especially using New Jersey temp tags on everything exotic. So again, it's for you to judge. I've already made my decision in what this is and labeled it as what it obviously appears to be fake. You tell me what you think. Please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. This will be my last video about him unless he wants to respond and say something about what I just brought up. I made this channel really to talk about small business and how to start up one and how to do drop shipping and how to do e-commerce. That's what I'm doing from this moment forward. So thanks for watching. Next videos will be about starting up small business. Take care.